Hey everybody, Contrast again, and today guys, I'm here to do another anime review, and my review is to Fate Apocrypha, episode 7 guys, episode 7 of Fate Apocrypha. So let's get into it. So guys, in this episode, at the start we get the conclusion between the battle between Saber and her master against Archer and his master. And it ends up being a draw, mainly because during the fight, the brother of Archer's master, who we know pretty much female Doctor Octopus, female Dark Art, because I gotta say, those freaking arms, like I said, they remind you completely of much of Dark Arc. But pretty much, Matt's Berserker, Berserker Black's art master, her brother, came and defended his sister, Archer's Black's master, from getting shot by the finger bullets, but shot by Saber's master. Saber Red's master, should we say? Well, right now I can say Saber's master because the Saber for Black is technically out, even though there's a possibility he could come back from what we've seen from the first episode. But I don't know about that. But don't know about that. But I still call her Saber Red. Or I should really call her Mordred. We don't know because of her true identity. But for what you can see, Mordred's master definitely had the upper hand until he came and defended it, and pretty much gave her the advantage of trying to attack back. But then they end up deciding to retreat because as the Holy Grail War, there was still this rule that if either the master or the servant gets defeated, you classify as defeated. So that's the what happened to Archer Black, Karen. He was in a position where if he kept on fighting Saber right now, he would have lost. So he contacted his master, telling him it's a wise idea they retreat, so they won't ruin the plan of what Vlad the Third, or how you could call him. Pretty much, remember correct, he's the assassin. He's Lancer. He was Lancer, isn't he? I think I remember correctly, he's Lancer in this. Yeah, I might be wrong. I think I remember correctly, he's Lancer for this series. But yeah, somebody it's a Lancer, pretty much. Lancer Black, who is, like I said, Vlad the Bad. Didn't want to ruin his plans, so they decided to retreat so they can fight them off. They can continue their fight after recharging from the damage they caused at their fortress, because we now found out that the rest of the servants are red. The factions are red, pretty much the Mage Association, have now decided to attack, Triferia, where the base for the Black faction is at right now. So they decided to attack there, and we pretty much found out that Assassin or Red's noble phantasm is, because there's a fortress which, after leaving the church that Shirokutamine was staying at for a while, which we found out because after saying goodbye, supposed to be goodbye, but pretty much splitting away from John for Arc finds the church that Shirokutamine was at previously, and she pretty much figured that pretty much saw like visions in there, and that's confirming that this is the location that he originally was at. So she now is going to try to find him. So and she aims to try to find him, so she'll take it to talk to him about something. Now it also gave us confirmation there's a possibility from the way it looks like. It does look like that Shirokutamine, or either his servant, Assassin, who seems to be a queen, said, or a queen, like something like that, like she's a queen, like said, so she's a queen, like which queen they're talking about, like I remember I've heard, I can't remember her full name, like I said, it does say her name, but what I've seen for, I've somewhat heard about her story before, about the assassin's true background, but I don't know which one, because the name is confusing, so I don't fully know which one it's about, but I definitely know she's connected to an Asian legend, or something correct, and we now found out her noble phantasm is actually the fortress, the fortress that, pretty much the base of operations for the Red Faction, or mainly for Shiro Kultimine. We found out that's her noble phantasm, called the Hanging Garden of Barrelon. That's her noble phantasm. A flying fucking fortress. Oh! I gotta say, that's a freaking, whoa, unexpected noble phantasm for her to have. Like, I wasn't expecting for an assassin to have that kind of noble phantasm. So, for an assassin, she's fucking strong. Like, I did say, for an assassin, she does have more caster-like elements to her, from what I've seen from some games I played of her, well, an app game I played for her. I definitely see her more like a caster, so when I checked she was an assassin, but like, her moves look more like a caster than an assassin. But now I know, but it looks like there's something about her, like I said, her legend that made it more of an assassin than a caster. But I don't fully understand about that. So I'm still wondering why she's the assassin. Especially that her fucking noble phantasm is a flying fortress. The Hanging Gardens of Barrelon. Her fucking that's her noble phantasm. We're like, whoa. I'm still wondering what made her the assassin. For anybody who actually knows her legend, I do really want to know what made her an assassin. What precisely made her an assassin? Now, another thing we got some confirmation about, it's shown a strong possibility that either Shiro Kultimine or Assassin herself, because there have been times, especially in Fate's Day Night, servants can summon other servants, surprisingly. Especially in Cass's case, in that back in Fate's Day Night, she summoned Assassin. Not the true Assassin, unfortunately, because we know the true Assassin is more connected to the Mato family more, but we definitely know that she summoned the servant, so it won't be that weird to find out that Assassin in this series, pretty much Assassin or Red, definitely, there's a strong possibility she could have summoned all of them. Like, that would be a big deal. Or possibility they could have summoned half each, like I'm saying. But overall, we definitely know either Shiro Kultimine or Assassin of Red have either summoned all the rest of the servants. We definitely know Shiro Kultimine definitely did summon Assassin of Red. We definitely know that is the confirmed situation, because it looks like they have formed a master servant contract, the way it looks like it. Especially the relationship, like, the relationship, you can definitely tell they're master and servant. You can definitely tell by their relationship that they're either master and servant. It might have a bit of a romantic tie to them. Especially it looks like Assassin does have some affection for Shiro Kultimine, so it definitely just shows that she has some sort of affection for him. But gotta say, man, I'm still fucking shocked. She's got a fucking flying fortress. A flying fucking fortress for a noble phantasm. So she's definitely one of the stronger assassins. Even most of the assassins we mostly know, biologically know, supposed to be summoned as Hashin. The Hashin are usually the ones that are summoned as mainly as the assassin servants, most of the time. But if they're not, then usually like fictional servants. But yet again, if they are summoned as an assassin, again, Jack the Ripper, I understand why he's a fucking assassin. He is a fucking assassin. A ripping stuff assassin, but he was confirmed an assassin in the real stories about him. So he's definitely a killer, but it makes logical sense why he's an assassin. He's been known for killing. He's known for killing and getting away without not one knowing. Silent killing. So he's definitely someone, well, in this case, a she, who we also now found out, like, by the way, pretty much Jack the Ripper, we found out to heal herself, looks like she's to actually eat and gain mana, she's eating mage hearts. So now we know how she's gaining mana, because we now found out also her master she is with now, she's not a mage. She's not a mage. So that means she can't supply her magic, because she can't supply her mana. Because unfortunately, the only way to sustain their form, she must sustain a certain amount of mana. And if we remember from Fate's Stay Night, Shuro, even though he is somewhat of a mage, he wasn't at the stage where he can, like, transfer mana properly. Because of that Saber, pretty much, Altaria was definitely weakened by that. Very weakened. She can only use, like, the amount of mana she had, and the only way she can supply mana is by charging up and eating regular food as much as she can to sustain her mana. But to actually gain more mana and to actually stay in physical form, it was very hard for her. And of course, the only way that Shuro actually could give her mana, thanks to being, again, still a somewhat of a mage, is by having sexual intercourse. But it makes sense. It makes sense because, again, it's magic. Sex is involved in magic. But then, we now know that Assassin of Black, and it was Jack the Ripper, we found out the master she is with, she is not a mage. She's not a mage. So that means even through sexual intercourse, she won't be able to give a mana. But yeah, again, I know there's a strong possibility that you can't pass on mana through sexual intercourse if you're both the same gender. There's also a possibility of that, because the reason why I'm saying that, because when I see magic involving sexual intercourse, one thing that was always in common, they had a penis. They always had a penis. So that means biologically, you must have someone with a... the only way you can transfer mana, I take it, is through having a male organ. You must have at least a male sexual organ on you, so you can able pass on magic through sexual intercourse. I don't think you can do it through either way. Of course, you can do it through other ways. I'm not talking about sexual way. The only way I think you can do it is through the male organ. So that's the only way you can transfer magic to someone. I don't know if it actually works if they're both female. If anybody actually does know through the fate lore, technically, because this is fate lore. This is not based on the magic he does, based on some of the magic we actually know in real life. But don't forget, this is also the Fate series, so for anybody who does know about how sexual intercourse with transferring mana or anything, if you give me conversation, there is a possibility that a female could transfer magic to another female without having a male sexual organ on them. Then I'll retract that statement. I will retract that statement, that saying they have to have a male organ to transfer mana through sexual intercourse. But there is a way for a female to transfer magical to mana through sexual intercourse without a male organ. And you can confirm that for me. Then I'll retract that statement that they have to have a male organ to transfer magical energy. But unfortunately, again, as she said, as Assassin's Master, as Jack the Ripper's servant master is a woman, and she's not a mage, there is no way she can transfer anything. There's no way she can transfer anything either way, because she's not a mage anyway. So, she can't even transfer it through sexual cause anyway, unless there is a way she can do it through magically sexual intercourse. I don't know how, but possibility. But definitely, from where it looks like, she can't transfer energy. She can't transfer money to Jack the Ripper, so she's eating hearts from mages. So that's something that we know now can confirm how she's going to gain her magic is by eating other mages' hearts. Cannibalism, pretty much. She's cannibalism. She's eating them. Don't forget, even though she's technically no longer human, because servants are not classified as being human, don't forget she was once human. She's once human, so technically she is, again, still human. So, she's cannibalism. She's a cannibal, pretty much. So they're pretty much saying Jack the Ripper, a female, lolly, cannibal, assassin. That's something that making it very more creepy. Very more creepy. A lolly, a cannibal assassin. God. I'll be alright they made her a female. Like I said, that would have been completely alright. Because, like I said, well, we're used to fucking gender bend in the Fate series. King Arthur being turned to a female. And we also now know that Frankenstein's monster, well, Frankenstein, like I said, it's still confirmed, but it looks like it's Frankenstein's monster. Biologically, it's been said it was a male. So again, biologically transferred her into a female. That's again another gender swap. And Mordred, female as well. So we definitely know in this series as well. So we definitely know they do gender bend a lot of characters. And again, Jack the Ripper, just they made her a fucking lolly. Now, also, and then that's pretty much all I can say about that part, about Assassin there. Now, during, like, the last few scenes where, pretty much with the fortress of, pretty much, the garden of the Hanging Garden of Barrelon, which, Assassins of Reds, no Phantasm, their fortress, the Red Faction's fortress, got to the, main base of the Black Faction. The Black Faction suspected that, so they of course now prepared themselves for battle. And I got to say, now we know what makes Astrophild. Now we know what makes Astrophild a rider class. We now know what makes him a rider class. It's because he actually rides a hippogriff or a griffin. Now, from what we've seen because the beast he flew was either hippogriff or a griffin. The reason I say hippogriff or griffin because we don't we didn't really get to see the full body. Like we saw like the head beak, we saw the head beak and the wings, but the actual full body we didn't get a full close up on that fully. So that means it was hard to see if it was either a lion's body or a horse body. If it was a horse body, it would be a hippogriff. If it was a lion's body, it was a griffin. Possibility, as it's more common to know, it's more like a griffin. But again, I had heard a bit more of a horse-like aspect from the heel, from the feet. So there's also a strong possibility that this is also a hippogriff. I am more leaning to possibly hippogriff because how tall the creature that Astrophild rides into battle, so I'm leaning more to it being a hippogriff. If it's not, I'll be alright for a griffin, but it'd be cool if we see another hippogriff, because so for the only time I ever seen a hippogriff was through Harry Potter. I would love to see another hippogriff in another series. Like, you merely see griffins in most magical series. Anything to do with magic, the most common creature you see out of the two is a griffin. You merely see a hippogriff. Hippogriff is the only time you see a hippogriff, for me personally, was through Harry Potter. So if this ends up being a hippogriff, I would like to see. I'd be pleased to see a hippogriff, especially in my own fucking favorite series, the Fate series, which would be fucking good. But overall, it ends up pretty much. The episode pretty much ends with the beginning of the battle between the Red Faction and the Black Faction, all-out battle and the all-out war. We also there's another thing that also happens also in this episode with Sig. With Sig, pretty much trying to figure out what he actually wants to do for it, because he said his freedom. He's now got his freedom, but he wants to know what he wants to use his freedom for. And pretty much he ends up deciding that he wants to help, pretty much, the way it looks like, he wants to help the homunculists. He wants to help the homunculists, so pretty much, I think that's what his goal is in the end, either way. So, we now know he could defy his fate. He's definitely going to the battle. He's definitely going to be involved in this battle. And he's definitely, I think we know his motive now. His motive is going to save the homunculists from the Black Faction so they can get their freedom. And that's pretty much, I think that's his goal. It doesn't precisely say it was his goal, but the way flashbacks look like, it looks like that's going to be his goal. For him, saving the rest of the homunculists so they can have their own future and have their freedom. But, and yeah, that's all I've got to say. Anyway, guys, that was my anime review to Fate. Oh, yeah, but Fate Apocrypha. Hope guys like it. Become channel fans today. If you guys have fan mail, down below. My chat, and yeah. Hope guys like it. Come on, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Wow.